And welcome to Friday's Q&A, where you get to ask me anything regarding health, fitness, nutrition, weight loss, working out, all those kinds of subjects, maybe some other subjects as well. And before I get into this, if you're watching me on live or the replay, just type live or replay down below in the comments and let me know where you're watching me from. I'm from New York. I'm curious where you're watching me from, because I know lately there's been a lot of people that have started following me, and I'm curious to know where you're located. And the way this is going to work is I have a screen right here and I'll see all of your questions, but I can't get back to all of your questions. So I'll try to get back to as many people's questions as I can. So go ahead and drop down any questions that you have for me. I'll see the best ones or the ones that I just see generally and answer them to the best of my ability to get you as much value as possible. So go ahead and do that. Say what's up. Say what's up, Alex. Let me know if you can actually hear me and see me. Sacramento, Sacktown. Can I coach you? That's a very quick question. So if you want me to coach you, you can message me on Facebook and Messenger, type in 2022, or you can actually send me an email to alexsolomoncoaching@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, probably after this live ends. San Antonio. Awesome. New York. I'm also from New York. Gastric sleeve patients, 7 months post-op at a month out stall on. Really not sure what I'm doing wrong. You're probably not doing anything wrong. So first of all, the gastric sleeve amounts to a lot of weight loss. So your body could be just in a phase of getting used to its newest, lowest weight. So don't look at this as you doing anything wrong. With weight loss surgery, it's not that weight loss surgery is wrong. It's the right choice for you because of your current situation. But just know that with any kind of huge amount of weight loss, your body has to get reused or used to a new amount of current set point, your current body's new set point. So don't look at this as you doing something wrong, or maybe you should increase or improve anything. It just may need time, so just get accustomed to your new body's weight, to your new habits, if you have any new habits, and give it time, and you'll start seeing results again if that's your goal. But don't look at this as doing anything wrong, because again, after a lot of weight loss from weight loss surgery, you will create a new normal for your body, in a sense, which your body has to get used to. So give it time to get acclimated to, and don't stress it. Live from New York. What's up? What's up, Celine? If you're overweight and are already in a calorie deficit and you're working out, burning 300 calories, should you eat back those? Nope. Never eat back the calories. Your calorie deficit is based on the calories that you should be eating you should be consuming. So what I notice a lot of time is a confusing subject is, for example, you may create a calorie deficit number by whatever calculations you use. Doesn't really matter. But if you use an app like MyFitnessPal, a lot of times it says, once you set it, here's your calories minus so-and-so from your workout. Do not look at that number that it says to minus from or subtract from. It's going to make the entire process much more difficult, and only use calories in as far as the calories that you're looking at for your deficit. Don't worry about the calories out, because your calorie deficit should already accommodate your activity level. Definitely do not eat back your calories. If you do that, it's not going to be sustainable. It's going to add more frustration, more details to the entire process, and it's just a headache that you don't need to be a part of. Make this as simple as possible. What's up, Laura? You're not going to be, so Victor says, you're not going to be able to work out for the next 2 weeks. Will you lose a lot of muscle and strength? A 2-week hiatus as far as working out, you're not going to lose that much muscle, but you're going to lose a bit of strength. But you're going to get it back as soon as you start working out, about after a week or so. And I believe I read a study maybe 2 years ago that said, in order for somebody to retain or maintain their muscle mass, let's say you worked out for 10 years or so, 5 years, whatever it is, and you want to maintain, you don't really care about building. I believe the study said you have to only do about 40% of the volume that you're, as far as working out, that you use to get to your current muscle mass to maintain it. So volume is just reps times weight times sets. So 40% of that is a lot less than what we're used to doing, and it's going to be enough to maintain your body weight. So if you're working out like 5 times a week, you can work out once a week, you'd be absolutely fine. But it was a lot less than we think it is to maintain the muscle mass. What's up, Mary? You're getting married. Congratulations. You're struggling with being consistent for your weight loss. You've lost 12 pounds since late January. Congratulations. And what are some weights to get back to a normal regimen? As far as weights, I'm thinking that you're talking about weight training. Don't overthink it. Just go to the gym and do a pull workout, a push workout, and a lower body workout. That should cover your bases. You can break this up into an upper body and a lower body day. You can also do 2 full body days throughout the week, but focus mostly on the calories that you're consuming if your goal is to keep losing weight like you have been losing. Sugar is your weakness. You end up rating your daughter's snacks every night. Yep. What are some not so bad sweet treats? So don't look at treats or snacks as being bad. And that's really important, because if you keep associating the idea of this food being bad, and every time you eat it, you're going to feel like crap. And that will cause you to feel guilty, maybe overeat even more, maybe skip meals because you feel so guilty. So don't look at snacks as being bad. It's just that snacks are super delicious and very, very high in calories. So what I would suggest to limit this, and I made a whole video a few weeks ago saying foods you should limit, and I got so much crap about it. Like, I told people, don't eat this, it's bad for you. I didn't say that. I said limit it. Just like these snacks, try to limit them. And the way to easier way to limit them is by making sure you're always full. So if you're always, for example, or oftentimes eating a lot of sweet and delicious snacks in the evening, make your dinner just a lot larger so that you don't have as much space to eat the snacks. That's going to help you out drastically. But as far as maybe some better choices, better for you choices as far as sweet snacks, I'll look at, like last night, I had a whole bunch of frozen blueberries, like very sweet blueberries. I just love blueberries. So I had a whole entire bowl full of them. You can do also maybe hard candy. Hard candy takes a long time to eat compared to like chocolates or very chewy candy. So look at that. And just if you want to eat what you want to eat, just make sure it fits your calories. And if you understand that it can fit your calories because it's just energy, you just have to have less of it, you won't have the guilt or the bad feeling associated with eating that food. What's up from Michigan? James is ready to do this. Let's do this. What helps binge eating? So binge eating is a it's different triggers for a lot of people. What may help some people's binge eating um, occurrences is, again, like I just said, don't associate the distinction that this food is good, this food is bad. If that's your mentality, there will be times when you eat food that you label as being bad and go off the deep end because you think to yourself, or you may think to yourself, I slipped up this much already, might as well just keep going down the hill. And that's not a very healthy mindset. So know that food is just energy. It's just food. Some food has more energy. Some food makes you feel different ways, and some food has less energy and it may make you feel fuller or more hungrier, but it's just energy at the end of the day. So if you're currently struggling with binge eating, consider having higher or larger volumes of food. Look at, how do I fill myself up with as much food as possible for the least amount of calories so that I don't feel hungry later on. You can also apply that. Maybe if there's some food that causes you to binge eat, I would also suggest to look into maybe just separating yourself away from that food. Because if a food is a trigger for you, for example, if what are those delicious snacks I've seen? Uh, Pretzels that have like peanut butter, salted pretzel nuggets that have peanut butter inside. They sell them like Trader Joe's and stuff like that, or Whole Foods. I can go through a whole bag because I lose control. That's just the way that it is. So for me, I just don't keep it in the house. That's it. And that can also help. But there's different triggers that cause people to binge eat and overeat. But focus on trying to be as full as possible throughout the day, and your instances of maybe binge eating or overeating will be reduced. Portions are so difficult for me. Love my videos. Thank you so much, Celeste. Do you think carb cycling is a good thing for older women? I don't believe in carb cycling. Not that I don't believe in it. I know that it's calorie management. I just don't like cycling as far as calorie cycling or carb cycling. It just adds more variables to the mix. It adds more complexity. It adds more adjustments that you have to make. I keep things very steady, very consistent, and adjust accordingly if I need to increase the calories or reduce the calories. I don't like having days of 5 low-calorie days followed by 2 higher-calorie days, or carbs, if you want to interchange it. I don't like the whole idea of cycling because it just makes things more complicated for most people, myself included. Does it work? Sure. But calories are what makes it work. Do I have a protein powder I recommend? Hello from Ohio. Yeah, lately I've been not eating, well, I guess if I put it into pancakes, I drink or eat bodybuilding.com's signature whey chocolate fudge. I don't know, something about it. It tastes like chocolate ice cream. I put it into my coffee as well, and they put something in it that tastes amazing. I don't know what it is, but it tastes really, really good. I'll link it in my stories after this live, so you can check it out if you like to. But I don't know why it tastes amazing. Chocolate fudge, bodybuilding.com signature whey. Charlie says, "What love? You watch my videos. You try one thing slowly, change my routine for life." Yep, this is about changing your routine for life. People aim or focus on the weight loss, and they get absorbed by the weight loss. They bypass or disregard a lot of different factors that they should really focus on. And I don't want to sound like I'm talking nonsense or woo or whatever you want to call it, because you should be focusing on creating habits that are very sustainable, healthy habits that work for you, that facilitate weight loss, that allow you to lose weight. Because if you focus on the habits, your weight loss will come naturally as a side effect or as an effect of those habits. But if you focus on the weight loss and you don't really understand how to incorporate the habits, how to just live your life enjoyably, once you lose the weight, if you happen to get there, it's going to be very difficult to maintain it because you don't have any common denominators, the common habits that you've practiced up until this point. Is going to be very, very difficult. Say my email address again. My email address, if you want to email me for coaching inquiries, you can email me at alexsolomoncoaching@gmail.com. And it's my first name, last name coaching. It's very complex. Erica says, you've been at a calorie deficit of 1,800 a day and you're still not losing weight. I can't tell you if 1,800 is the right amount for you, but I would think that it is. One thing that you can do, if 1,800 is truly your calorie deficit, focus mainly on being as consistent and as accurate as possible with your food logging every day. Because as an example, if 1,800 is your calorie deficit, let it be that. It's awesome. But if you're eating 1,800 calories for 5 days, or you're eating, let's say 2,500 on the weekends, that averages out to be probably at your calorie maintenance level, which is not going to help you lose weight. So be as accurate as possible. You may need to even increase your calorie deficit by a little bit so that you don't have these instances of overeating. Because look at your consistency and your accuracy. Because 6 or 5 days of being in a calorie deficit followed by one huge day of going out is going to have a drastic impact, not only on your weight loss, but on your mentality, because you're going to just feel like you're like, nothing's working for me. I don't know what's going on. Look at your consistency and look at how accurate you are. That's going to help more than anything. Thank you, Jane. Appreciate it. If you're getting value so far, drop a fire emoji in the comments below. It helps people see this video. It helps push this video out to more people so they can actually see this video as well. Do I think that follow up with your physician might be some sound advice? Absolutely. Yeah. If you're having issues that need to be seen by a medical professional, absolutely. 100%. Just know that a lot of physicians are not too well versed in nutrition. So if you have a very nutrition focused question, you should go to a medical professional that specializes in nutrition, not a regular physician or family doctor, because they're usually going to tell you something crazy like eat less, like a lot less calories, and eat plain food. It's not really a solution. So definitely, if you have a need to see a medical professional, do it. But if it's a nutritional question, you should definitely go to a medical professional that specializes in nutrition. Your shirts no longer fit or feel like a blood pressure sleeve. That's awesome. I love that. I'm trying to get back to as many people as I can. I'm sorry if I missed some questions. I can't. I wish I could get back to everybody. Should you work out in the morning or on an empty stomach and eat after? Does it matter? Um, if you don't want to eat in the morning because you're just not a breakfast person like myself, don't feel a need to eat. Just know that if you have like a small sweet snack, like a small sugary snack, Rice Krispies, rice cakes, maybe a piece of fruit, some chocolate with your coffee or a cookie, this will there'll be tons of sugar in that, and that may increase the energy of your workout. So look into that. But don't feel forced to eat before or after a workout. But if you don't eat before a workout, I would suggest to eat something afterwards that has protein in it, just to start get the whole recovery process going for your body, because you don't want to work out on an empty stomach, not eat afterwards, and eat sometime later in the day. Just have food in your system, but don't feel pressure that you have to eat at a certain time before or after your workout. But a sugary snack before your workout will likely make your workout have more energy. Will testosterone help with injuries? If you mean about injecting testosterone, I don't know. Um, I know that injecting testosterone helps with mood, not from my personal experience, but from just doing research about it. I don't know if it helps with injuries. But if you have low testosterone as a male, like medically low testosterone, it's a good idea to try to increase it, because it's going to make you feel a lot better mentally more than anything. It's not going to have a huge impact on your muscle mass, but it will have a huge impact on your mental well-being, your mood, all that stuff. That's actually where a lot of the testosterone benefits come from, naturally increasing testosterone. So you love eating healthy, but you realize you'll only be successful at weight loss if you exercise. What's best if I don't enjoy walking? Walking is just a very simple low intensity cardio that a lot of people can do. You can also bike ride, go for a swim, or maybe work out a bit more often every week, because walking is a very easy way to increase your average weekly activity level, increase your metabolism. So don't feel forced to walk, but if you don't want to do it, it's not a requirement. Just figure out, because one of the things walking does, besides help your heart and your mental well-being, is just it helps you reach a calorie deficit easier. So if you don't want to walk, it will not help your calorie deficit. So now you have to eat less, or you can change that walking by increasing your workouts to be a bit more frequent. So it's up to you, but walking definitely helps, but you don't have to do it. It's just about managing your calories. But there's a lot of benefits to walking aside from just calories. You can just feel better mentally, maybe catch up with a friend that you haven't talked to in years. Use that as an opportunity. Just your mental health is also important. People don't really talk about that too much. What's more important, weight or reps? What's more important is intensity and volume. Volume is weight times reps times sets. You will get a number. That's an equation. And intensity, like how close are you getting to muscular failure? That's really, really, really important. So the reps that you should be using to help you grow muscle is in the range of like 8 to 15, in that range. But you should hit or reach muscular failure, where your muscles just can't work anymore because the lactic acid buildup is just so high that will facilitate muscle growth. Don't get too absorbed about the weight specifically, or the reps specifically, or the sets. Look at reaching muscular failure a couple of times for a certain muscle group in a workout, in the 8 to 15 rep range, or 8 to 18 rep range, in that range, and you'll be fine. Thank you, Paulette. Yeah, progress, not perfection. What are my thoughts for a 53-year-old male with lower testosterone? Would you consider TRT injections? I'm not a medical professional. I know and have known a lot of people that have went on TRT at around 53, a lot younger and a lot older. So I would definitely, go to a medical professional that deals with that and see what they say. You know, when I first started my weight loss journey, I had abysmally low testosterone. It was like 270, and the range was and is like 850 to 1,000. So my testosterone was super, super low when I was overweight, super low. And what helped me was just losing as much body fat as possible, putting on some muscle, and being more active. That's what helped me a lot. And not that the low testosterone for me personally made me feel like absolute crap. I was down all the time. I didn't want to be around anybody. I was always sleepy, tired. I didn't want to do anything. And being obese and low testosterone, it's not a good mix. So I definitely know what it's like to have low testosterone. But if you want injections, I don't know if you should take it or not, but go see a medical professional. You're getting a tummy tuck, and you want to lose as much as you can in a good way. I'm going to the gym now. What's a good gym workout? Either treadmill for 60 minutes a day. Go to the gym 3 times a week or so. Do a push workout. Pushing. You want to pull on separate days, and do a lower body day. You can also do a upper body day followed by a lower body day followed by a full body day. Spread them out accordingly. Maybe like a rest day in between. You'll be absolutely fine. David's down 16 pounds in 6 weeks. That's awesome. What's the focus on calories intake? I mean, calories are the most important factor for fat loss and fat gain. Keep asking me your question. I'll try to get back to as many people as I possibly can. Is it okay to just do cardio, or do you need to incorporate some lifting in there as well for regular weight loss? Lifting is a great benefit. It's going to help with your skin, being a bit more filled in, because with a lot of weight loss, people tend to have some sagging skin, myself included. So it's a good addition. It's not necessary. It's not required. It's a great addition. And having more muscle is always a benefit. It makes you stronger, helps with arthritis. It helps with your increased metabolism, makes you feel better, right? Makes you fill out your frame better. So not necessary, not required, but it's a great benefit. Thank you, Mina. What about protein drinks? What about them? They're good as a snack, as a supplement, but most of your protein, hopefully all of it, is from regular food. You cut fruit from your diet for almost a year. It was the biggest mistake. Yeah, it doesn't sound good. Yeah, I love fruit. People give me crap all the time. There's sugar in fruit. Like, yeah, so what? Sugar is not why people gain weight. It's why people maybe overeat on calories, because a lot of sugary snacks are delicious, sure, but it doesn't make you gain weight by itself being sugar. Let's see. Stress eating. Chocolate is your satisfaction. So stress eating is a big deal. I mean, for a lot of people. And I'm not the one to tell you how to manage your stress. I will just suggest to manage your stress as best as possible, because so this is the thing. I always talk about calories in versus calories out. Everybody knows this, but calories aren't the only thing that really matters. There's other factors that enable you to eat more or eat less. Like if you have a calorie number, okay, great. That's what you should be eating. But how your stress, how your hormones, and how your sleep is managed, or how those things are right now, will have a great impact on your calories, on your calorie intake. If you're not getting enough sleep, you're gonna be way too tired for the following day. You might overeat. You're probably not gonna be as active, and you're just not gonna do what you need to do. If you're hormonal, if you have like hormones acting up, or just it's that time of the month, you're not gonna meet your calorie goal the same way as you would have if you weren't hormonal. So it impacts it tremendously. Even stress is huge, and it plays an impact on your hormones as well. But stress also impacts how many calories you eat. If you're stressing out, you're likely going to be eating a lot of different things, because it's normal for you. So trying to dial in your stress and see what's actually causing the stress will be a much better focus than trying to maybe focus on the food that you eat when you're stressed out. So fix the underlying issues or try to remedy them as best as possible, and it will help everything else fall into place, because calories matter, absolutely, but stress, hormones, and your sleep schedule or your quality of sleep matter a lot as well. So don't forget that. What's my opinion on intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting, I've done it on and off for years. It's great if it fits your schedule. There was actually I was reading something from somebody that um, pushed forward the intermittent fasting craze from a few years ago. Um, and there was a new study done that said, actual study done, not like just articles, that intermittent fasting does not help in any way, shape, or form any differently than a regular nutrition plan or nutrition timing. And I never personally used intermittent fasting for any magical benefits that they claimed it does. I used it strictly to help me manage a calorie deficit. That's it. I'm not a big breakfast person. I was never a big breakfast person. So for me, skipping breakfast wasn't really a struggle. So it kind of came about seamlessly. The reason why I really liked intermittent fasting is because the cut-off window. So I told myself I'm not eating after 8 p.m. That helped me out a lot because a lot of my calories um, used to be consumed after dinner, around after 8, from 8 to like 11 or so. So by the implementation of intermittent fasting, it just got rid of it. So it worked for me. It's not magical. It's nothing special. It just helps you reach your calorie deficit by including a time window, but it's not special. It's not, do it if you want to give it a shot, but you might as well just eat your regular calories, but, space them out accordingly to your schedule. Do I know if antibiotics affect weight loss? You were doing good and they had a diverculitis, flare up and start antibiotics, and now you feel you're not in a so good of weight loss. So I don't know exactly about antibiotics, but if any kind of medication may have an impact on your mood, um, how many calories you eat, your stress levels, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know exactly, but it's definitely a possibility. You know, doesn't matter if your macros are all over the place if you're hitting my protein and calories. Does it matter minimally? I personally focus on calories and protein. I used to focus on all the macros before, and either approach is fine. Focusing on all the macros is more accurate, but it's more frustrating and a lot of times less consistent because, let's face it, it's difficult to focus on all the macros. But if you generally meet your calories and have a high protein intake, you'll be absolutely fine. It's a lot of times for top tier athletes, for very sport specific goals, those people will likely want to focus on all of their macros. But for a general public trying to be healthy, look good, you know, perform at a decent level, you don't need to focus on all your macros. Just reach your calorie goal, have a high protein intake, and don't eliminate carbs. That's it. Are black beans okay to eat? Yeah, why not? Extra black beans, double black beans at Chipotle all the time. Do I recommend lean cuisines? I don't think I've ever had them. Maybe I had them once a long time ago, but in a pinch, they're fine. Um, but whole like food that, generally speaking, for nutrition, like especially weight loss, food that you cook yourself or prepare yourself at your house is going to be always better for your goals because you know what's going into it. And the ingredients that go into it are likely going to be better than what's going to something else that's maybe packaged or frozen. Yeah, lean cuisine is not bad or anything, but you're usually better off making the food yourself, or at least, you know, knowing more what's in the actual meal that you're eating. I appreciate everybody for being here. Hi, Alex. Try to include my vitamin. Um, not sure what you're asking, Penny, but if that's vitamins into your nutrition, I don't track my minerals, or it's way too much. Tracking micronutrients is a whole different beast. It's not. It's super inconsistent, and it's just very, very detailed. It's not necessary. Hello from Cali. Do we have to do both calorie deficit and count macros to work? No, you don't even have to count calories. Just know that calories are the most important thing as far as weight loss. Do you have to count them? No, there's plenty of different ways to reduce your calorie intake without actually counting them. But as far as do you have to count calories and macros? No. If you just stick to calories, you'll be absolutely fine. Should you include your vitamins and collagen in your calorie number? If the supplements that you're taking have calories in, like a significant amount of calories, do it. But if it's like 5 or 10, there's no need. It's minimal. It's not that important. Do I offer macro help in my coaching? So as far as my coaching, I do the entire breakdown for my clients as far as nutrition. So whichever approach is easier for you, that's the one that we take. But I am not a fan of meal plans. I think meal plans are just stupid. They're very it's like a band-aid on an open wound. It's not going to fix the bigger issue. On top of that, anybody that buys a meal plan is not going to be eating those foods for the rest of their life, or let alone for the next couple months or a year. So meal plans are just like, here's chicken and broccoli 3 times, 5 times a day. Good luck. It doesn't work. Any suggestions for those of us with acid reflux as far as healthy food? See what foods trigger your acid reflux. There's some medications like Tums you can take for it. I know some of my clients have it as well. I believe alcohol makes it flare up a bit, so be careful with that. And also eating food in large quantities is different for every person. I would honestly do a trial or process of by elimination. So see what triggers your acid reflux, and just don't do it again. Or do it, but in a smaller sense, so it's not as bad. It's a very individual approach. So just do process of elimination. Can we start a petition to make Halo Top cheaper? It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know where you're from, but here I've seen Halo Top upwards of $8 a pint in New York. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense how a pint of ice cream, let alone ice cream that's not even full calories, is more than double the price of a regular pint of ice cream. Ridiculous. How do you figure out how many calories I can eat daily? Type in TDEE calculator into Google. You get 100 different pages of calculators. They're all relatively similar, or not the most accurate, but they're good enough. Type in your stats that it asks you for. It'll give you a number. Just stick to it. What's up, Pop Paul? Or Pop Roll? What's going on? I appreciate everybody for being here today. Yeah, normal doctors get one class in nutrition during college. They will tell you that if you ask. Yep, absolutely. Which is why a lot of physicians and just family doctors are not well versed in nutrition. So if you want actual nutrition advice, like not advice, eat chicken and broccoli, going to lose weight, eat 1,200 calories. It's very wrong advice. The doctors, they go to school to study in their specific field, but the nutritional study that they get is very, very minimal. So go to a professional that their primary study or expertise is in nutrition. You'll be better off. There's actually doctors with PhDs in obesity, in nutrition, so those people are much well or better versed. What do I think about carbs? People say it's bad, but I don't know why. People say carbs are bad because, I mean, it's like it's a trend or something. Say carbs are bad. Carbs aren't bad. Carbs are just like the easiest thing to overeat calories on. Cookies, ice cream, bread. It all has carbs. It's all very easy to overeat. So if you tell somebody don't eat carbs, kind of like keto, it effectively cuts out the vast majority of your food choices, and you will lose weight because you're in a calorie deficit, which was enabled by eliminating carbs or severely reducing carbs. But carbs aren't bad. They're just very easy and very fun. They taste good to overeat on. That is it. Best advice for first time weightlifter. Good question. So, my best advice if you're first time weightlifting or going to the gym is try every single machine. See how you like it. Try every single exercise that you can possibly get your hands on. See what you like, see what you don't like. Don't feel pressure to specifically do every single exercise that you've seen somebody do. Try it all. See what you like, and delete things that you don't like, and just do the things that you like continuously, because the best exercise that's going to work for you is the ones that you do consistently and continuously for a long time. And especially if you find some exercise that you like, do not try to confuse your muscle. Don't try to keep changing up your workouts to make your body feel sore, because soreness is not an indicator of your muscle actually growing. And you want to generally stick to the same workouts or the same exercises for at least minimum of 12 weeks to give your body adequate amount of time and stimulus for that muscle that was being targeted by those exercises to grow accordingly. Don't change things up every single time. You will feel more sore, but it's not going to mean that you're growing anymore. So keep the same exercises for at least 12 weeks. Remember, boring stuff works if you do it consistently. Hopefully that helps. My skin looks great. Thank you. I don't have the best skin, but I try to do it with what I got. How long should a workout be? That's up to you. Some people like longer workouts, but with longer workouts, you run into the problem of having like a fluff volume, or not fluff, but wasted reps in a sense, because if you think about your training intensity and your exercises that you're doing at the gym, think of it like a curve. If I start like a curve like this, and your peak performance is right here where a lot of your sets and intensity is. The more you're at the gym, the more you keep doing more and more. Like, the benefit drops downhill. So a lot of times you may see people in the gym for 2 hours, keep working out, they're sweating, they're feeling good. They may be feeling good, but probably 50% of the workout is spent on a downward trend of this curve. It's a curve. You start at the bottom here and you reach your peak performance. So you want to be over here as far as your intensity, your volume, your strength, and then it just slowly starts to go downhill. So it's wasted effort, essentially. You might as well just go home and go to a gym the following day. So how long should a workout be? I don't know, around an hour, maybe. Just, it's not so much about the time, it's about how much work you did, how intense the sets are, how much effort you put in. Because if you're doing a whole bunch of sets, you're not really feeling it, there's no real muscle focus, there's no mind muscle connection, you're kind of just doing things just to do them, you're not getting as much benefit as you can. Quality reps. Quality, what I mean by that is your muscles contracting properly. Your form is as good as it can be. You're not cheating. You're giving yourself adequate amount of rest time. And whatever that means for you is what you should be doing. But don't look at time as the end all be all to a workout. It has to be this time, or it can't go past this time. James asks, do I have a meal list or collection of recipes? I have tried a lot of the things. I have made videos and you love them. And I appreciate you making the meals that I make. I make them because they're simple. I get a lot of crap with people saying it's basic, but I make it because it's basic, it tastes good, and it gets the job done. I'm not a big cook. I just make things very minimally, make it taste as good as possible. But as far as recipes, I haven't made one. I have considered, actually in the process of thinking if I should go through with this. I can maybe get some feedback over here from the comments, people watching this. But what would you think if I made a weekly, the name is still under construction, but like a weekly recipe club where I can provide you a bunch of recipes, grocery lists, maybe even access to like a private, chat or a Q&A. Let me know what you would think about that. Every month, new recipes, new grocery lists, and let me know what you think about that. I'm just curious. Still working on it. Should calories from vitamins and collagen be counted towards your daily calories? If they have a significant amount of calories, if it's very minimal, I wouldn't even think twice about it. What are filling snacks? Fruit. Fruit's a filling snack. You can try, you know, maybe make some yogurt, spicy mayo, like plain yogurt with a hot sauce, and dip some vegetables in there. It's actually, excuse me, really good. Um, a Greek yogurt's always good. Maybe a protein shake. Never a bad idea. Yeah, always see these diets, but never any for vegetarians, especially a keto diet for vegetarians. Um, yeah, I'm not a big fan of keto. You know, vegetarian. There's a lot of options for vegetarians. Some of my clients are vegetarians, so you know, there's no it all works, right? Just what works the best for you. There's always an option. There's always a way to do something, and there's never a single way to get to any kind of goal. There's always different ways to reach a goal. What's my opinion on Fairlife Core protein shakes as they good for weight loss? A lot of some of my clients actually recommended the Fairlife shakes, and now a lot of my clients buy them, and they're high in protein, lower in calories, and actually taste really good. So those Fairlife shakes are a game changer. Do I suggest cool sculpting or true sculpting to kill fat in hard to remove places like love handles that seem to be impossible to lose? No. I mean, maybe it works, but I don't recommend it because it just, to me, it looks like a gimmick, and it doesn't teach somebody what to do to actually not get that fat back in that area once the cool sculpt procedure is over. Just be in a calorie deficit, train properly, eat the right way, and be consistent. These gimmicks may work temporarily, but life isn't temporary in the time being. Do I have a dog? No, I have a cat. I have a cat that is somewhere around here. What do I recommend as a good workout plan for beginners? I have started push-pull legs, but just want your opinion on work. Yeah, push-pull legs is fine. You can do upper body, lower body, followed by a full body workout. You can do that's for a 3-day split. Maybe you want to do uh, chest and biceps, back and triceps, shoulders, followed by legs. That's a 4-day split, or put shoulders and legs together. Maybe throw in sprinkle a core day in there somewhere. It's up to you. Have fun with it. See what's doable for you, what's manageable for you, and just be consistent. Above all, it's better to do workouts or exercises that aren't optimal, but consistently, than to try to find the best exercises and be inconsistent with your routine. What's healthy to order from Chinese? So Chinese food is one of my favorite foods ever. You can't go wrong with like white rice and maybe steamed chicken with vegetables. It's a good choice. Egg drop soup is pretty good. I believe it's pretty high in protein too. Steamed shrimp, some rice, or replace rice for steamed vegetables with a side of protein. Thank you, Julita. What's a good percent of macro? Like what your macro should be, So uh, 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight, or per pound of goal body weight is good, and fill the rest in with carbs and fats. And make sure your fiber is also decently high, around 15 grams per 1,000 calories of calories consumed is a good goal to aim for. Yeah, Atomic Habits are absolute. The book Atomic. Maybe I even have it somewhere here. Maybe it's downstairs. But that book is amazing. What happens if you get too sexy and you're having trouble fighting off all the women? You like to keep a little meat on the bones just so I have time to do other things. So a lot of women like guys that have more meat on their bones. So I don't know if keeping some meat on your bones is going to repel the women. So that's just a problem you got to deal with, Jay. Life has its problems. Any recommendations for fast weight loss? You have to lose 35 pounds. You have to, okay. Keto, intermittent fasting. I mean, fast and weight loss generally don't stick. It's not sustainable. I don't recommend it. Depends what your time frame is. Depends how much you got to lose, what's possible, what's realistic. Um, you can eat almost nothing, like 1,200 calories, 1,000 calories, lose a ton of weight, but you're going to gain back and then some. So be careful with that. Um, just be in a calorie deficit. Do some cardio, light intensity cardio. Maybe you want to jog for a bit because you like that stuff. Do it. But don't look at weight loss as a fast fix or a fast anything is going to take a while. I would aim for about 1% of total body weight lost per week. Maybe a tiny bit more if you want to increase it a little bit, but trying to have that fast mentality associated with weight loss. Give yourself adequate amount of time because you're going to thank yourself later for it. What's my take on alcohol? Is it still okay to drink every now and then? Yeah, I mean, alcohol is fun. I mean, this lifestyle isn't just about, first of all, if you reduce alcohol, yeah, you'll be better off, but that's not realistic for a lot of people. So know that alcohol, it's a very social thing. So if you're a very social person, you got to figure out ways how to include it. But as far as weight loss and alcohol, it's not really the calories from the alcohol where people tend to go off track on. It's the calories that we consume from the food that we eat after we get drunk or tipsy, because we lose control. So that's what has to be managed. Can you still drink alcohol? Yeah, I have a few drinks once in a while, but unless you're the type of person to maybe completely, lose all control and start binge eating, that's it's a deeper issue. Cafe latte flavor premier protein thoughts. Yeah, I mean, look at the calories, look at the protein content of it. A lot of these protein shakes, a lot of times have a high fat content, sometimes some carbs, which will increase the uh, caloric content of that shake. And if that's the case, you might as well just drink a regular protein powder shake that you make yourself. But calories matter. What was my motivation when I started, and what kept you going on your health journey? So that's a question to me from Bonnie. When I first started, my motivation was my doctor telling me I'm not going to live past a certain age. That age was 30, and I was maybe 19, 20 at the time. So, like, I stepped out of that office thinking to myself, what's going to happen later on in life if I'm not here for it? What am I going to miss out on? Like, it sounds cliche, but I like, no kids, no traveling, no spouse, no doing anything later in life. So I'm like, all right, well, what do people do to lose weight? They do tons of cardio and they eat clean, right? Regular food. That's exactly what I did. And I started to experience a lot of different struggles over time and started to adjust some things. I hit a ton of plateaus, which is why it took me a long time to lose my weight, around 4 years. And you can find thousands of people out there that have lost more weight than me in a shorter period of time. But this is just my journey, and I like to be fully upfront with what I experienced, just so you don't you don't set yourself, you don't give yourself like faulty expectations. I have to lose this amount of weight in such a short period of time. It doesn't happen that way. Be realistic and learn from people that have made mistakes like me. Halo Top has no taste. I actually like Halo Top. It used to taste better. I think they changed something. Their peanut butter and candy bar flavor used to taste a lot better. I don't know what they did to it, but to me it tastes different now. But a lot of their flavors are absolute trash. I don't know how they even. Cool. Do I think Fitbit is an accurate representation of how many calories you're burning in a day? No. I don't use any kind of calorie burning app, watch, as a accurate gauge of calories burned. I only focus on the calories in. I focus on the calories in, the consistency of my activities, not the specifics of the activity as far as calories burned, but the consistency. So as far as how long did I work, how many times a week do I work out? Because my intensity is usually very similar. 5 times a week. All right, let's maintain that 5 times a week. How long did I walk today for? 10,000 steps. All right, now I'm using my app to track my 10,000 steps and keep that consistent. But as far as calories burned with an app, it's irrelevant. It's not accurate. It's going to add more complexity, and just use it to track your steps, maybe your sleep, maybe your heart rate. But as far as your caloric output, don't really focus too much on it. Thank you so much, Penny. How do I feel about creatine to help muscle gain? Creatine is cool. It definitely works. I think it's over exaggerated. It's definitely one of the most proven supplements to actually improve your performance. It does retain a bit of water, which is fine. But people tend to put a lot of emphasis on creatine, and they bypass other improvements. I just made a video today on Facebook where I said something like, if your sleep, nutrition, and training isn't as good as it can be, then you have no business even thinking about supplements. It's kind of like stepping over, what's that saying, $100 bills to pick up a nickel or something. Like, do not focus on supplements. If you can sleep 20 minutes more or improve your current sleep by making the quality better, if you can eat in a bit better way to improve your goals, or if you can increase your workouts in some kind of way or fashion to get you better results, increase or improve those three things before you even consider supplements, because you may put so much time, money, and emphasis into supplements and kind of like push the other things to the side because you don't think they're so important. Like, supplements may help you 2% if the other 98% are dialed in. So focus on the 98%, and then once that stuff is dialed in as best as it can be, then maybe look at creatine. But does creatine work? Yes. What's up, Tatiana? If you're getting value so far from the video, drop a fire emoji down in the comments below. How do I say no to the sweets? You have no willpower. Willpower takes practice. How do I say no? Is I don't. I have what I want to eat. It's about limitation, not elimination. So the way to limit it is to make sure you're as full as possible from eating food that you should be eating. So then once it comes time to eat the snacks, you're not that hungry. You don't have that much space or desire to eat those snacks because you're just already filled up and you're satiated. Then you'll be a lot better off. But if you're skipping meals, if you're not eating food in a large volume, then if those snacks or sweets, like you said, are in front of you, you're going to just end up overeating on them, which will effectively make you eat a whole bunch of extra calories, because those snacks are filled with a lot of calories. So make sure you're not skipping meals. Eat high volume foods, eat your proteins, eat your carbs from fruits and vegetables, and you'll be a lot better off. You've been in the gym for a few days and just not really into it. But the way I look at it, being in the gym and not having the best workout mentally is better than not being in the gym at all. Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. I mean, a lot of days I'm in the gym and I'm just going through emotions. It's just a part of my life. It's just what I do. If I'm in the gym and I just don't feel like doing anything, I just still do. I go through the emotions. But if I'm feeling myself in the gym, like I want to work out a bit extra, yeah, it's the same thing as motivation. Like, you're not going to be motivated every single time, but you still should have some non-negotiable habits that you do every day, no matter what, whatever that means to you. If you stick to them, you'll be successful. You're 8 pounds down since April 1st, and you're moving well. That's amazing, Teresa. Trying to get back to as many people as I can. You got chocolate rice cakes. Chocolate rice cakes are really good. They're like almost identical to Rice Krispies, but they're chocolate flavored. Your TDEE is 2,000 calories, and you're eating about 1,600 a day. That's good. Yeah, if you can maintain it, do it. Being diabetic, what was the hardest thing to do? I just found out I'm diabetic and not sure where to begin. I know the diagnosis isn't the best, but it doesn't make it any more impossible to reach your goal. Still eat better. There's plenty of diabetics eating sugar. Just make sure you have fiber with your sugar. Have your sugar come from fruits. You'll be absolutely fine. It's just more things you got to focus on, but it does not make it impossible. Still train a couple of times a week. Focus on building muscle. Get your activity in. Focus on your calories. Being a diabetic does not make you less, eligible to reach your goals than somebody else. It adds a bit of more variables to it, but does not make it impossible. I was pre-diabetic before I started. It's not actually being diabetic, although some people say that pre-diabetic and diabetic is, I don't know what the margin is or what the cutoff point is, but I was pre-diabetic, and adopting the healthy habits, losing weight, understanding nutrition, still eating carbs and sugar in the right amounts, though, has helped me drastically. What's the best way to cook vegetables without adding calories or salt? If you want to reduce salt for personal reasons, it's fine, but just know that salt is absolutely fine. Salt is one of the best performance enhancers because it helps your workouts tremendously, especially if you train and you sweat. If you want to cook without adding calories, bake them, boil them, air fry them, microwave them if they're frozen. Add some calorie-free or low-calorie sauces or seasonings. Use dry seasonings. They're a very good idea. You've lost 25 pounds because of my videos. That's amazing, Sam. I'm really proud of you. That's awesome. Keep asking me your questions. What's a good frozen dessert other than berries? Take a frozen banana, blend it up, and you'll be surprised that it tastes exactly like ice cream, like banana flavored ice cream. It's crazy. A frozen blended banana has the same consistency as ice cream. It's absolutely wild. I don't know how it works. Of course, I promote carbs. Carbs are not the enemy. The more people that understand that carbs are just energy, and energy that's easier to consume is, that's one of my main objectives as far as what I promote. 30 pounds gone in 11 weeks. That's amazing. This is live? Yep, this is live. Is starvation mode a lie? Yep. If starvation mode was real, or as real people think it is, you wouldn't see people famished or cavemen dying from starvation. Like, where was starvation mode when people were dying of hunger? It just doesn't make sense. It seems like it may work because it sounds plausible somehow, but it's nonsense. Is it 10K or 15K steps per day? I don't know. Whatever works for you. I just do 10K steps per day because that's what works for me. I recommend 8 to 10,000 in that range. Is 2 pounds a week a healthy weight loss pace? Depends on a person. For some people, it's fine. For some people, it's too much. Don't get focused on the specific numbers you have to hit. Know that it's about, even if 1 pound a week, that's over 50 pounds in a year. Look at it from a very long-term perspective. Don't look at it from a very week-to-week kind of view. It's a very long-term goal. 2 pounds a week is over 100 pounds in a year. That's a lot, so look at it from a sustainability standpoint. Midnight Taco Bell trips. Yeah, those are dangerous. Cabbage soup diet for fast weight loss. I'm not even going to answer that. I mean, if you want to eat cabbage soup in addition to your food, go for it. But I've seen so many of these cabbage soup diets, and it just makes me wonder, how's that person going to feel once they eat 500 calories a day, lose a whole bunch of weight, and then just put it back on because it's ridiculous. Any folks that have munchies from cannabis, it's used to help with seizures and not a pothead. Yeah, I don't judge if you're a pothead. It's totally fine. But I mean, maybe structure your smoking maybe like before dinner or something, so that your dinner is actually your munchies instead of having dinner, smoking, and then eating extra. That could be a good goal. Um, Also, don't have like readily accessible, delicious snacks everywhere in the house. Because if you're stoned and then you got the munchies and they're just there, you can reach for it, grab it, and you're done. You're gonna eat a whole bunch. But if it's not there, you make it more difficult for yourself, which will help you reduce your calories. How often do I strength train? About 4, 5 times a week because I enjoy it. It's my favorite. CrossFit, not a big fan of CrossFit. um, for a couple of reasons. First of all, the CrossFit Games, the CrossFit is it's at the very top level of athletes for CrossFit. They're amazing. They're just human machines, right? They're genetic beasts and they're performance animals. They're just amazing people. But for the general public, trying to do exercises like CrossFit has the highest rate of injuries out of any sport for the average person. You have like older people going to do CrossFit. You have people in the 30s even doing CrossFit, just injuring themselves all the time because it's it's a very high risk to reward ratio. But if you're at the very top of CrossFit, it's a whole different game. But for the general public, CrossFit is not the best choice. If you want to do it, by all means do it. Just know that there's likely better choices there. But if you like doing CrossFit, you do it in a safe manner. You don't go crazy. You don't get amped up and do some crazy things. Because remember, injuries are the biggest thing that's going to stop you from reaching your goal. Injuries. You can't do anything about them once you're injured. How do you break through plateaus? First of all, I wouldn't call it a plateau unless you've been consistently and accurately eating the same amount of calories and moving or exerting energy at a consistent and accurate pace without any kind of change in weight. It's likely not a weight loss plateau. It's likely an inconsistency in your tracking of your energy in and the energy out. So fix your consistency and you will see that your plateau evaporates, usually. Yeah, healthy and consistent. I appreciate you, James. I weigh 289 pounds. How much protein do I intake? Don't worry about it too much. Focus on your calories and having generally more protein. Don't worry about the grams. Don't worry about the meticulous little details. Just look at your calories. Even the calories, don't be perfect with them. Every single calorie number that you try to aim for, make sure it's a range and not a perfect number. If it's like 2,000 calories, because that's where your deficit is, have a range of like 10 to 20%. Make your range like 1,850 to like 2,150 calories. Somewhere in that range and you'll be fine. And once you're in that range, just have generally more protein. That's it. Be consistent with that and you will be successful. Mediterranean diet is awesome. Yeah, it's a very healthy diet. It's generally lower calories. It's great if you like it. So you've gone from 390 to 225. That's amazing. You think similar to me, but now your goals is abs. What advice do you have on obtaining them? As far as abs, you should focus on compound lifts, so multi-joint movements, a lot of rows, a lot of presses, um, definitely legs like squats because they will hit your core a little bit. If you want to specifically target your core, you can do the ab wheel. Ab wheel is absolutely amazing. It sucks. It's difficult. It's going to hurt a lot, but the ab wheel is absolutely amazing. You should also do leg raises because leg raises, any kind of motion where your legs are lifting, not only helps your core, but it also makes your hips stronger, which people don't really realize. So do a leg raise exercise either on the floor or on a like a dip machine, maybe even do an ab wheel. But none's going to help you more than reducing your body fat percentage. But amazing job losing that much weight. That's spectacular. Thank you for being here, Monica. Yeah, sugar-free Jello is a game changer. How many calories should my goal be? Any good calculations online? Yeah, if you want a decently good enough, decently accurate calorie calculator, type in TDEE calculator into Google, type in your stats. Most of these calculators will be similar. They're not super accurate, but they're good enough. You're down 47 pounds because of me. Thank you for saying that, but it's not because of me. It's because you put in the work. All right. That's amazing. I'm a fitness coach. Yes, I am. I only do, well, primarily I do weight loss and sustainable nutrition, sustainable weight loss. So I teach nutrition because my goal is to help somebody keep the weight off. They will lose the weight, but can they keep it off? And that's why I focus on it the most. Are the Apple Watch good for accurate calorie burn? I don't count calories burned. It's inaccurate. It adds more details. It makes the process more frustrating, and you have to focus on more variables. Simplicity is key. Make it simple, make it consistent, and you'll be absolutely fine. What kind of sauces do I recommend, especially to make chicken taste better? Sugar-free. G. Hughes, I think his name, has a bunch of different sauces. I use tons of different hot sauces. Sometimes like soy sauce if I'm making a stir fry. A chicken stir fry or something. I use a ton of dry seasonings because they all taste different, like a Mrs. Dash, Dano's, McCormick, stuff like that. But dry seasonings are a game changer. Where do you start? You will love some help. If you want some help, you want to work with me, you can either message me on Facebook, say 2022 Inside Messenger on obviously Facebook Messenger, or you can email me at alexsolomoncoaching@gmail.com. And for like a coaching inquiry, we'll see, if we're a good fit to work together, and then we'll just take it from there. You've been doing 1,200 calorie and under 25 carbs daily, and you seem to be stuck. I gain 2 pounds and lose 2 pounds is very frustrating. Yeah, I believe it's frustrating. 1,200. I mean, Darcy, I don't know how much you weigh, what your goals are. I don't know. I know nothing about you. I just know that 1,200 calories is what a baby needs to eat. So the goal is, you're not going to want to hear it, or the objective should be is to eat more. Eat more. I would say start with at least 1,500 calories. I don't know what your stats, but 1,200 is definitely too little. What you're going to find when you start eating more is your consistency improves a lot. So for example, now maybe you're eating 1,200 3 days out of the week, but 4 days out of the week you're eating 2,000 because you can't take it anymore. Whereas if you started to eat more, let's say 1,500 or so per day, your 1,500 consistency is going to be at least 6 days out of the week, which will enable you to be in a calorie deficit without these crazy ups and downs. So eat more. Don't be afraid of eating more. Doesn't a lot of carbs spike up insulin too much, and then you can't lose weight? So insulin spikes and weight loss are not as one-to-one as people think they are. Believe it or not, chicken breast spikes your insulin. People don't really talk about that. But insulin, the whole insulin thing is not as relevant as people think it is. A lot of different fruits spike your insulin. If you eat a Twinkie and it spikes your insulin, but that's the only single thing that you ate for the entire day, you will lose weight. But it doesn't work that way. And if you're eating a chocolate bar and it spikes your insulin, but that's the only chocolate bar you ate the entire day, you're still in a huge calorie deficit, and you will lose weight even though you just spiked your insulin like crazy. Chicken breast spikes your insulin. Different foods you eat, people don't really think about or mention spike your insulin. It's absolutely fine. You will be fine. And yes, carbs spike your insulin. That's okay. Doesn't matter what time of day you eat. I have a new job where I work 10-hour shifts and the schedule changes every month. Now you work till midnight. as far as your calorie intake, the time that you eat does not matter. However, the time that you eat does matter because it plays a role in your overall hunger levels and your calorie intake. For example, if you're eating most of your calories 5 hours before going to sleep, you have like a 5 hour window of opportunity to start snacking or eating extra calories. Yeah, that will matter. But if you space out your meals throughout the day, you will likely not be as hungry. So make sure you focus on the calories and spread out your meals accordingly so that you as an individual, you don't have these crazy periods of severe hunger and you'll be fine. And if your schedule has changed with your work, just shift your eating schedule along with it. I used to work 3 different shifts: the morning shift, afternoon to night shift, and then night shift into the morning. So before I left my job, and what I did for that is just I shifted my eating schedule to accommodate the work schedule because you're sleeping at different times, but you're still eating. You can still eat at the same times. You can eat after 7 p.m. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Just shift your eating schedule along with your work schedule, and don't overthink it. Doesn't intermittent fasting help you bring down your insulin and help you lose more weight? Intermittent fasting works because you are able to reach a calorie deficit easier because now you have a time restriction that is also a part of your daily focus on top of your calories. So intermittent fasting helps you lose weight because it makes eating calories more difficult because you have a time constraint. That is it. How did I first start? When I first started, I was 365. My doctor told me you will not live past 30 if you keep going down this path. I was uh, pre-diabetic, had a fatty liver, high triglycerides, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and I was not having a good time at all. So I was morbidly obese, and my doctor told me if you don't lose weight, you will die. I don't know if it was true or not, but that was like a kick in the ass that I needed to just do something. And from that point on, I started trying different things. I told myself about a decade or so ago that I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know if it will ever happen. I just want to show as many people as possible that they can do it too. That's what I told myself. It was like a dream, it was like a faraway thought. But here I am today. I have people watching some kind of internet helping them, know that it's possible too. And that makes me feel in a way that is hard to describe in the best way possible. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And it just makes me feel great knowing that what I told myself I will do one day is what I'm doing today. And that to me is the biggest win. Not even my weight loss, it's just doing this. Thank you, Heather. You burn 400 to 700 calories daily and you eat under 1,000 calories and you don't lose any weight. You're 61. You can't believe that this weight will not come off. Yeah, I mean, if you're eating under 1,000 calories, that's the first mistake right there. You have to eat more. You're likely not consistent with 1,000 calories at all. Definitely eat more. Eat more. Don't focus on your calories burned. I would start at a minimum, eat like 1,600 calories consistently, because consistency is the biggest downfall of a lot of people, and you want to be as consistent as possible with your caloric intake. Your yo-yo diet, unfortunately, what was the final moment for you that caused you to make your lifestyle change? I just mentioned this. My doctor said I'm gonna die at a certain age, so I just try to do whatever it took to lose the weight. Yeah, G Hughes is the bomb. It's absolutely delicious. What can I use to replace mayo? I think there's like some low calorie mayo options, I believe. I'm not a huge fan of mayo unless it's like in a salad or something. But I've been making myself I love tuna, not tuna, yeah, but like sushi. And they have a spicy mayo condiment they can give you on the side, but it's very caloric, so I make my own. I use plain low-fat or fat-free Greek yogurt. I put sriracha in there. I mix it up, and it tastes amazing. You would never know the difference. Thank you, Annette. What should your carb count be per day? You got to lose about 60 pounds. I don't know. It's up to you and your calorie range, but don't even focus on your carbs. Focus on your calories and just making generally better choices of your food with your food. How long before I won the mental battle to get up and work out? That's a tremendously amazing question, because the first time I went to the gym, I quit. Like one of my friends at the time dragged me to join the gym. I hated every second of it. I felt judged. I felt like everybody was looking at me and telling themselves, or asking themselves, what's this guy doing here? Like, oh, he shouldn't be here. Like, it's all in my head. So then I didn't go back to the gym until like a year or two later, after my doctor told me what he told me. So once I went back into the gym, I did nothing but cardio. I tried every single cardio equipment. I didn't try weights at all. Once I lost a lot of weight, I just started to not like the way I looked, because I was very skinny, very frail. So I started to try weights, and that was my progression. But mental battle with the gym is huge. You got to know that in the gym, everybody started somewhere. The biggest guy or girl there, the leanest person there, they all started somewhere. And you'd be surprised, some of the nicest people in the gym are the most intimidating looking people. Like, people tell me I look, like an asshole in the gym, and I don't really want to talk to anybody. But they start talking to me, oh wow, he's actually not that bad. It's just, people don't take people for like their face value in the gym, and just, everybody starts somewhere. Nobody's out to, judge you the way that you think you're being judged. It's mostly in your head, and I know what it feels like, but just know that it's not as you may think it is most of the time. Can you keep your regular coffee creamer as long as it meets your calorie deficit amount? Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Thank you, Ruth. Is it possible to lose the weight and keep it off without counting calories? Absolutely. Yeah, calories are important. You do not have to count them. There's many different ways to reduce your calorie intake by generally practicing different food choices, but you don't have to count them ever if you don't want to. Does it help? Yeah, you don't have to count them. And I appreciate everybody for being here today. If you've gotten value so far from the video, just drop a fire emoji down in the comments below. And lastly, let me know if you want to be a part of this. I mentioned this before, but I'm thinking about starting like a recipe club, a monthly recipe club for people that are interested, where every single month I'll be sending you recipes, grocery lists, that kind of stuff every single month. So if you want to be a part of that recipe club, type recipe down below, so I know that somebody's actually interested in this, because I get a lot of people asking me for recipes, and I'm strongly considering this. And I appreciate you for being here, and I'm going to keep doing these Q&As weekly, so make sure you tune in and enjoy your weekend.